Hey everyone, this is our review of Captain America Civil War with my brother Bodhi.
Hey everyone.
So this is just going to be our initial thoughts on the film and how much we liked it without giving too much away. This video is just going to be mostly non-spoilery. In part 2 we will go more into a spoiler-oriented discussion and go more in depth. Captain America Civil War is the latest installment into the MCU, and it kicks off Phase 3 with a bang! Directed by the same people who brought you Captain America the Winter Soldier, the Russo brothers have yet again succeeded in bringing us another fantastic Captain America movie. And while having all the Avengers in this movie, it never steers away from being mainly Cap's film. So let us start off by saying this movie is spectacular. It has some of the best action I've ever seen in a movie, let alone a superhero one. While also bringing us a great story and its fair share of emotional scenes, as well as its hyper-realisticness that the Russo brothers are so well at portraying, like in The Winter Soldier.
The first half of this review will just be me and Cage going through the basic synopsis of the film, along with seeing how well it compares to other MCU films such as The Winter Soldier.
So basically, after the events of Age of Ultron, Tony feels responsible for the many deaths he and the Avengers have caused, including creating Ultron and wiping out an entire city. The government has also decided that the Avengers must participate in a registration act called the Sokovia Accords. Tony is all aboard with this request.
Whereas Cap is, after the events of The Winter Soldier, untrusting of government figures. This, of course, causes a rift between Tony and Cap, pitting their ideologies against each other's, and without going into too much detail, splits the Avengers in half.
And now the Avengers have to choose sides. I mean, do they go with the government, or do they trust Cap in going against the law? Now, the film actually takes its time to build up to this huge fight that you may have seen in the trailers. And there's just a lot of talking and back and forth, and it really puts me on the edge of my seat whenever they just disagree with each other. You really get the sense of friendships just kind of bending and slowly drifting away as they just disagree with each other and pit their ideologies against one another.
Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. bring their A-game to this movie, and with Robert Downey Jr. bringing us a different side to Iron Man that we've never seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, we've got little tidbits of how emotional he can be in Iron Man 3, but in this movie, he's just really, really taking a departure from what he's been like in the past.
Whereas Chris Evans doesn't make too much of a change of the character he usually plays in these films, but you can tell there's more emotion in the way he's playing Steve Rogers this time around.
You can really see how his relationship with Tony has evolved over the years, and throughout these movies we have seen these characters sort of argue, but it never gets as bad as this.
The stakes are a lot higher in this film than possibly that of a film than Batman v Superman. This movie is a lot better than Batman v Superman. What BVS tries to do and failed to do was just shove new characters in your face and say, yeah, look, there's conflict, believe it. And what didn't click for me was how they recast Batman in that movie. It was just an all new actor. I was like, oh, okay, well, you had a pre-established Batman, but I guess you're just gonna recast him. I mean, Ben Affleck was badass, but we didn't have that past relationship with these characters. It was all in one movie. It was just kind of out of nowhere that they hated each other for no reason. Whereas Captain America Civil War does it so much better because we know these characters and how much we love them, because they've had 2 to 3 solo movies each. We're now going to compare Civil War to the other MCU films and The Winter Soldier. Bodhi, how do you think it fares up to Winter Soldier, and what was your favourite MCU film?
When I first saw The Winter Soldier, I didn't think too much of it because it wasn't that big a movie as a movie such as The Avengers or The Avengers Age of Ultron. So we just went into this movie thinking, oh yeah, it's Captain America. So when I went out of this movie, I was thinking, okay, that was a movie. It was pretty good. But then we watched it a few more times, and we realized that this is actually it's pretty good, damn good movie, incorporating a good story, a good villain, and a good backstory to this new character that Captain America goes up against.
And the character actually turns out to be, spoilers for the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, which shocks Captain America. The reason I didn't think too much of the movie at the time was because I had already known who the Winter Soldier was. Because I watched the Avengers cartoon, so it wasn't so much of a surprise to me as it was to the rest of the world, who saw the film and was critically praising it, saying it's the best MCU film yet. But I didn't see it that way. But now that I've seen it like a few more times, I still don't think it's my favourite MCU film. The Avengers is probably still up there as my favourite comic book movie of all time, but I can kind of see the appeal now. If I didn't know who the Winter Soldier was beforehand, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I think, for what the movie was, it was pretty damn good. The way the Russo brothers incorporated realism and political thriller into their movie surprised me. I didn't catch it the first time, but the way they make it realistic is just fantastic. Like it gives this essence of it's a superhero film, but it's like it could take place in your real world. And not many movies did that at the time, except for maybe the Dark Knight trilogy, which delved deeper into the realistic nitty-gritty of superhero films. So Brody, what is your favourite MCU film? Do you like the Civil War more than the Winter Soldier? And just give your thoughts on what do you think is your favourite MCU film?
Personally, I think Civil War is slightly superior because of the two guest characters which, when I watched the airport battle, I had a few tears of joy run down my cheek. You might have seen a bit of this in the trailers, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, whew, that is just so beautiful. These two guest characters made the movie just so much better. It adds an element of joy.
I think those characters add a lot to the gravitas and amazingness of this film. But Brody, what is your favourite MCU film?
Well, the Civil War is definitely up there, but the Avengers is still up there for me. I remember watching it for the first time, and I get a bit nostalgic because back 4 years ago, when I watched the Avengers trailer, I was so excited for it. And me and my friends would just look at all the magazines of the Avengers, and we'd get so hyped for that movie. And when I finally saw it, it indeed lived up to the hype, and I loved it. Also, Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely up there along with Avengers and Civil War because of the way it made these obscure characters work in the MCU.
For me, I'm kind of on the same page. I'm not sure if I liked Civil War more than Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier was pretty damn good. I like them the same. With repeated viewing on Civil War, though, I might give the edge to Civil War, just because those two guest characters are pretty kick-ass. Avengers is probably my favourite MCU film to date. Guardians of the Galaxy's second, probably, for the same reasons as Bodhi said. I mean, they made these characters that basically no one knew about, and they made fun of that in the film. They made these characters into pop culture icons, like, oh yeah, that's Star-Lord, oh yeah, that's Groot, oh yeah, that's the raccoon thing. And it was really funny, and it had an amazing soundtrack, as well as a great cast. So Brody, do you want to share your final thoughts on the film before we go into spoiler territory? What did you think of the movie as a whole?
Yeah, okay. Well, I just want to start off by saying this movie, it's just so damn good. The airport battle, I'm not going to go into depth, but that is just spectacular. And, Cage, what do you think?
Yeah, the emotion in these people and how they, in the way they portray, the emotion and the friendships of these characters is so spectacular. And the fight scenes are just amazing. We will now pick this up in the second part where we go into spoiler territory.
Okay.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.